Jacob, mate, congrats on the win in our head coaching performance, and probably close to the best performance you produced as a team this season. What was the build-up like, and then to see it sort of all come to fruition like that?
The build-up was pretty, it was a pretty disjointed, obviously, with Brian not knowing where Brian was at in regard to his COVID days. And we were up and down at practice. We had some practices thinking he was going to coach the game. And then, obviously, the boys did a great job, an unbelievable job, actually, when they found out that he wasn't going to be there. They really stepped it up and, really decided to, move this season on with, just for this one game, unfortunately without him, and, it was all them driven. All I needed to do was just, sort of jump around on the sideline, give them their schemes. They helped the energy today. They helped the energy at practice. They were better at communication, and I just think they, I don't know if it's our best performance. That's not to be said. We've had some good ones, but I just think we're trending this way. So I just think this is the way we've been trending. I think that, the boys, I just think that we just needed to do a little bit more, and we needed a little bit more accountability on ourselves, just because Brian wasn't there.
I kept hearing you saying in the interviews and then in some timeouts as well, play with some swag. Offensively, defensively, you were fantastic, but was it a case of, you can't come into this arena under the circumstances and, play within yourself offensively? You had to really attack it and put it on in that way?
I just think we just had to come in with nothing to lose, like that sort of mentality, which we've been great at ever since, people sort of started to write us off, and thinking, we're not as good as we first predicted, all that stuff. I just think that we played like ourselves, and we played with each other. And, the swag thing is just sort of like a word I use, I guess, you know what I mean? Because I'm younger than Gorge.
Yeah. How much was he involved in today, as in, was it FaceTime before the game, half-time, or was it just step back and let you do your own thing? I can't imagine what it would have been like pacing around his lounge room, but how involved was he sort of in the game once it sort of got going?
Involved, but it's supportive. You know what I mean? I've said it in numerous things. I've worked with him for as long as it's been, and he lets you do your thing. You know what I mean? But he's supportive, so he makes you feel good about the decisions you're making. I mean, there's obviously a phone call at halftime. Let's not kid ourselves. He's involved in the process. You know what I mean? It's his team. We make the decisions together. All we just needed to do now is make him over a Zoom, and he wasn't there. You know what I mean? But he was involved in the process, but also, letting us all do our own thing. And I'm sure he's going to watch that thing from afar. And maybe we've even picked up some things we've done well today that we can keep going through the season.
Just one for Tyler. Tyler, did you feel with obviously Gorge not there that you wanted to, I guess, have his back in a sense and say, this one's on us, coach?
Yeah, I mean, that's the mentality we had to have all week. But you know what? Jake did a great job of getting us ready this whole week. Like if we slacked in practice, we had to pick up intensity. Jake was the first one to step up and tell us. He really put it on us to create that energy. So that's coach trusting us, and we trust coach as well. So, of course we wanted to have coaches back, but we knew Melbourne was a great team, and we're going to have to put our best foot forward tonight. And I feel like the guys and coach, we were ready for that task.
How do you rate the performance, mate, in terms of defending champs, being on the road, and the point you're at? Is it right up there what you've done this year?
Yeah, man, look, the season's been up and down for us. We're just striving every day to get better. That's our goal. We're trying to worry about us. We knew Melbourne's a great team, man. They got great guys. They're coached well. We knew it wasn't going to be easy by any means, and especially with coach not here. But every single day we're just trying to get better at our jobs. And I'm sure we'll watch film on this next week and get ready for our next one on Thursday.
Right, Matt.
That's a good one. Well done.
Jake, it's Matt.
Hi.
How are you, Matt?
Good.
Congratulations. Just first thing, defensively, the guys, which is very unusual, as you well know, for a Brian Gorgie team, have sort of been around the midpoint or even below in terms of defensive efficiency. You've now held a couple of teams down both times, and it looks like the defence is stepping up. What's been the turnaround probably in the last couple of weeks that you see?
Well, I think obviously because of the situation we're in, desperation, You know what I mean? More that we were probably waiting for it to happen. You know, and I, you know, as an assistant, I was the same way. You know, Gorge will get it done. You know what I mean? And having that mindset, and now it's like we're on a path where we could miss out, and now we're desperate. You know what I mean? And now there's a bit of that, I would say, and then just time together and allowing Brian to do his job. You know what I mean? Just allowing him to be able to coach the guys. He coaches them hard. And just it's a method of teaching. As we said, we recruited a lot of guys that are like scoring mentality, and with Brian having that defensive mentality, and just having a bit of patience and letting the defense form. You know what I mean? But obviously there's some. I mean, he just got off the phone with me right now. He's got a list of things that we got to get better at. But I just think it's maybe it kicked in a little later than everyone wanted. But I think it's a little bit of just giving it time and a little bit of desperation.
And I wanted to ask you about Timmy Conrad. I mean, he's a guy who was retired basically 2 years ago, and yet he stepped in last season, and now this season even more so. Just seems like he's becoming a huge key for you off the bench. Can you talk about his impact on and off the floor for this ball club?
Well, I mean, he gives us that stretch four capability, and Brian said it before. Like when we started this, the league's changed a lot of small ball. There's a lot of NBA influence with some of the American coaches that are coming in, and Timmy helps us fill that role of that small alignment. You know what I mean? And then obviously it doesn't hurt us defensively on the other end. Obviously having someone like, he's pretty cool to have around. He's been in it for a long time, and he's been through a lot of change here at Illawarra. And, obviously, there's little pearls, and he helped me today with just some little things about the league, So he's been all good. He did retire. Gorgeous said that, obviously we should have probably kept him last year, but, he's not retired now. He's playing. He's doing a pretty good job. So he's probably got another couple of years in him.
And Tyler, one for you from me, mate. Just in terms of your offensive game in particular and your shooting, I mean, you sort of had your ups and downs. You probably agree. Do you feel like you're taking a bit of a step forward today? I mean, how did you feel shooting the ball today, particularly?
To be honest with you, I feel good every game shooting the ball. Honestly, this year we have a lot of offensive talent, and if that means some games I don't get as many shots, that's fine. At the end of the day, I want to win games and I want to win championship. So I really don't worry about the offensive side. We're more focused on the defensive side, and defense creates offensive opportunities. So, I really don't think too much about it, and I think that's the way to go about it. I know shots will come and they'll present themselves, and I'll be ready to take them when they do.
And just finally, Jake, Thursday night, huge game against Brisbane. They've sort of been a bit down, but they've got some weaponry. I mean, how important, obviously, is it to take care of business, especially when you don't have that many home games remaining in the regular season? Yeah,
it's massive. Obviously everyone knows Brian's back, so talking about retirement, I might go into it. But he's back. I mean, he'll be juiced up for it, which is good. Hopefully our home crowd will be there. After that win, I think regardless of who, it's an entertaining win. We're playing entertaining style of basketball. Hopefully, how many home games do we have left? Two? Yeah, hopefully people get behind it now. We get a little bit there. It's hard on a Thursday, but yeah, no, it's all we're trending in the right way. As you could see, the Tassie win was a massive win. Today's a massive win, and we just need to do our jobs now, as we said for the last couple of weeks.
Thanks, guys. Any final questions? We're all good. Thanks very much.
Thank you.